this for one Dark Owl and then Vines for the next one. Because there's this here. Fire Steel, Dark Owl on this, and then I want to barrel, but the Goblin Gang and we barrel Robert is like this height that brings over his Valkyrie in the middle here, and it's a beautiful Valkyrie right there. It's gonna get a lot of value. I'm not gonna have enough parts for everything. I mean, the thing is gonna be getting up with the traffic, like the Goblin Gang, the Skeleton, Guards, or Goblins. But on the bright side, I'm actually king here. I do feel like the cycle is kind of slow. I don't think we can have a Goblin Gang with near cycle. I think actually, so that was some of the Goblin Mega Knight with the arrows, we do the vines, okay, there's the arrows. Look at the conversion from wall breakers here. Look at the control Mega Knight with okay, you probably will vines on our Dark Owl, so let's put it directly here. Oh, wait, we need the vines first. We have the vines. We go for the Valkyrie. They're gonna pop, then the Valkyrie can splash them. Nice. Ice here gonna breach it. It's gonna knock it back, and fire here to yank it back. The Blizzard 2. Good defense, guys. We are just cycling with the dagger. Kind of hard to wall breakers. The wall breakers right there. Good arrows, but no arrows to cycle. You don't have a dodge one time from back. The Mega Knight. We're going to get a connection with either the Valkyrie or the barrel. Oh my god, wait. Maybe the wall breakers will find the spot. Okay, fine. That's the connection right there. So slow though. You don't get more damage. That's nice to press connect to it, hopefully. No, it didn't. Okay, so here. Nice to get rid of the Randall. Let's get the Blizzard on as well. Find some here. Fight it here, bring it back and jump. Nice! Oh my god, I didn't even know I could do that. Let's go. Let's the Goblin Barrel here. Let's the wall breakers as well. Smart. No, hold on. Get 3 stats though. Let's all make sure I can tight damage. Get the vines. Go for the berserker on top. Wall breakers in the back again. Go for the wall breakers. Oh my god, I took no. But David, what do you want? Dark Owl, here we can set up on defense now, guys. I think we got this one. We have Evo Valve Vine Spell, and he's not going to do that, right? He doesn't that. Vine Evo Valve here, then maybe a nice Ice here at 2 to freeze everything. And that Mega Knight is getting deleted, guys. There goes Mega Knight. Have to watch it for the Prince. Wallbreaker's pulled his back. Go for the barrel here. He might not really get some of the pieces out from Vine. Nice. Wait, oh my god, I realized it's Vine. That's why I'm Vine. You're going to block our Vine with barrel. He wants him to defend it again. He just can't give up. He gave up. Let's go, man. Alright, we should be 1 off. Oh, 12. Alright, guys. Let's hope the final round is this guy can't go snowball. It's not real now with the minions, but I do feel like I don't know, right? Quality. Oh no, he's trying to get that. He's trying to get it. Oh, he's trying to get it bad. Yeah, the Ice Spirit Barrel here. Barrel first to get back to it. That's nice interaction with every type of bullet. But while this is the type of bullet that is really very Dark Owl here, it's actually the key power. Wait. Oh my god. I didn't even know I could do that. Wait, one back can't drive. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let's reserve this here. Let's take the Goblin as well. Let's put the snowball thing. Look at it. Fire here to support the enemy response. We'll get a fireball with the damage on our fire wall. We have a Dodger here in the front. And the Ice Spirit to the back. Okay, not bad. Again, this is perfectly safe by damage. Yeah, not bad. Here's the base. But there's a Dark Owl with the to go for the gold barrel from the on the right side. This should be really good pressure. You could have handled this big control. What was that giant? Arrows on the right, arrows, good damage, take those. Not going to overspend. Valkyrie here. We already have next Valkyrie. On top of that giant as well. Try to make sure that it's damage. Don't get so free. Yeah, nice, okay. I want wall breakers, but you can't roll it from you know, I've done it yet. Never mind. I was gonna wall breakers the bridge and try to pre-bind the roller and stuff, but we already went to it. Start off to get a snipe the roller, get a barrel down, and then wall breakers to keep up the pressure. But then for here on, you can get a here and here. This is best because the base again. Holy, that was bad by the way. Like the fire here. Barrel, the base is fine, but he has arrows, it's not fine. Wall breakers here. I'm really tempted to predict, but I know probably go down, not go down, like that goblin here, then maybe go Val. Yeah, let's go Val here, guys. Go Val, I hear it here as well. Nice, good defense. Maybe people barrel, yeah, let's go barrel fighting here, and Dark Goblin as well. Nice, guys. Please know that the house is trying to block the bridge on the giant wall to type this up. Ryan's here to block the bridge. Nice. Here as well. Now that's also good game. Next video. Bye. While we're in the drag race between a totally standard AMG GTR and a Lamborghini Huracan Spider Eva. Well, we're going to find out by racing over 74 miles. I'm at Watson and I'm a bit of a cheat here in Goa. This is standard racing GTR and the Ford is the it has an engine gearbox, as well as two downsides, so rather than the 7 now developed 756 horsepower, 1,000. All that higher sensitive rear wheels and lower sensitive far away from 1,500 kilograms, and it's worth about 100,000. Using all those Lamborghini Huracan worldwide Spider and the 5.6. Okay, the put down it says power to the and a 5 speed fuel system. You're like wiggle, weighs around kilograms, it's worth about. So again, let's move up the line, front exit, rear drive, front control, spinning of the wheel, however, this goes control, one or two that should mean the off-wheel spin is not limited to the rise because the traffic shows on the part of us. Driving in a good factor because what that Lamborghini is really drive everything. Let's find out what it's about. I was going to go to the Lamborghini, I'm going to go to the I also have this you know when you're like getting stuff like that hard, and that works. You only do it quite well. A lot of ways you can play the argument of aspect I don't say that. So it's pretty much better than how it works. So it's a surname, then no. What is it then? It's Matt Winner. Technically this, I'm not going to reflect on the family. So I'm really his surname, or he might be thinking, yeah, I don't want to say, because I'm going to right? So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a car wash sound check. So this is the AMG GTR standard. Why not rest actually? Don't have a listen to your left knee. I don't think I heard that. It's weird, isn't it? Lets you rev it high the first one or two revs, then it just throttles it back, isn't it? It's weird the way that is.
Yeah, I never really understood that either, but it is what it is. The Lamborghini, that's everything.
Let's see what's going to happen now. Now, before you race, let's just back to the post. Oh, in fact, right now, you can value your car.
I've been launched, mate.
Anyway, like I was saying, you can value your car for free on CarWow. So just click on the pop-out button there, send a QR code or follow the link in the description or the pinned comment to see how much your car is worth today. You may join if you want to sell your car through CarWow, just upload the photos to a free subscription and give us all the consequences of it on it. So it's completely free. If you don't like it, don't go through. Let's go with the show. Can Ace me?
Then, man.
Ace, that was Ace. Absolutely Ace.
Was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, but
Was alright. What happened though? Well, Ace might have been the start. Then go back down and find out if it's what you did. If you would take that off back into the lane, which I had, but I'm not sure whether I was at the time to go. I'm hoping it was. Let's go find out. Did it? Oh god. Okay.
there's no
Yeah, you know what I mean? Okay. Right, this is delay. Oh, I didn't want that there again. That was great. Oh, okay, please. Basically, Alright, let's set the scene. This may look like a perfectly normal explosive purpose, but what if I told you the person doing it cannot see the game? Yeah. This is my pet cat. He's a Hollow Knight speedrunner, talent runner, and, well, very, very good. A few days ago, he became the first ever person to beat Hollow Knight blindfolded. Under his belt, he also has a hitless Pantheon 5 clear and multiple top speedrun times. A blindfold completion of Hollow Knight is an amazing feat that requires a lot of memorization, problem-solving, awareness, and practice. The more you think about it, the more ridiculous the idea of such a thing becomes. In Hollow Knight, so much of the game is based on the visuals, the platforming, the boss attack telegraphs, etc., etc. So much of the game is designed and balanced around smoke to be able to see the game. So, how is it that tactical people overcome this insurmountable challenge? Well, that's what we're doing today. In this video, I'm going to break down and analyze Cactus' run and showcase some of the clever solutions he came up with. I'll also be asking him some questions directly. On that note, let's start the video. But before we do, I highly recommend you check out his full run. It's posted on his YouTube channel and wow, yeah. Let's get into it. While playing the game with the blindfold on, you encounter some pretty big issues, some more obvious than others. Thunder, it's really hard to know where you are. You also can't know how far you're walking, how high you're jumping, and you just have to depend on your memory. Now luckily, Cactus has a pick up speed to mitigate a lot of these issues, and you can see him utilize this right at the beginning of the run when he drops it. What I'm talking about, of course, is the game's audio design. So notice, for example, how he flashes around himself to identify whether he is close to a wall or not. This way, the feedback audio of the nail hitting object assists him in deciphering which he is. Other than that, he uses a lot of consistent setups, such as positioning himself against the wall, using jump, etc., etc. Using strategies such as these, he's able to get himself all the way to the Aspid Arena. But how do you handle combat if you can't see the game? Well, in the case of the Aspid Arena, Cactus is able to find a setup that allows him to manipulate the Aspids in a way where he can consistently strike them. Even False Knight is trivial for Cactus to take down because it's a fight that doesn't require much thinking or positioning at all. Even while seeing the game, runners barely look at the False Knight fight because it's so simple. He fully defeats False Knight, picks up City Crest and the Geo, and then grabs the Vengeful Spirit. Now, this is going to sound a bit weird, but the early parts of the run are one of the hardest parts when it comes to traversal, and that is because he doesn't have a consistent way of moving. Unless there's any walls or corners that he can slash at, he has to basically... Well, only when he picks up the Mothman Cloak is he going to have a consistent way of moving, with one dash always moving to the same distance. More of that now, after slowly but steadily making his way up through the Gretzer room, killing the Balder, and jumping across the acid pits, Cactus makes his way into Green Path. Now, before we continue, I need to remind you of the logistics of attempting something like this. Cactus would spend hours upon hours lapping out strategies, planning routes, and memorizing the different segments of the run, and he needs to remember all of this. No visual references, no additional information, just pure memory. Keep in mind, it's not a short run either. This is going to take him 4 hours to complete them. Green Path is really set up, it's a lot more punishing than Crossroads because of the large acid pits that cover the ground in a lot of the rooms. So he needs to use some clever strategies to mitigate the risk. Consistent positioning landmarks once again fails to frame, with walls and ceilings and other stuff that you can slash at to position yourself against. He also uses full jumps as much as possible because they give a consistent height. Small taps on the left and right buttons will have to do for precise positioning for now. Now, to save himself roughly 40 minutes of memorized routes down the lower Green Path, Cactus decides to go for the Fireman's Gift. To do this, he gathers Full Soul from the birds, and then sets up a consistent position by hugging this left wall. After this, it's all timing. Now, I'm going to skip forward to the Hornet fight so that this video isn't ages long, but now that I've shown you what type of tactics he uses, the rest isn't super hard to imagine. Now, Hornet, as opposed to False Knight, is an actual fight that requires some clever strategies to beat. So after benching at Green Path Stag, he begins the fight. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this fight would even be possible if it weren't for the hero that is Makoto Koji, Hornet's voice actress. This is because Cactus's entire strat revolves around standing in the rightmost corner and jumping or slashing whenever he hears Hornet scream. Her screaming, "Shaw!" or "Medina!" or whatever indicates that Hornet has jumped and is dashing towards the player's direction. Cactus jumps whenever this happens, and that is the fight. It's very slow, requires a lot of attention, and may not even work consistently. But you know, that's basically the summary of a Blind Soul and Hollow Knight run. He picks up the Mothman Cloak, and now he's on to get Claw. But before he does that, he has to face off the greatest enemy of all, the Maze Man. He's very careful and moves the mouse really far away, and then slowly manipulates through the menu. There may or may not have been times in previous runs where he accidentally shut down the game. As I mentioned earlier, his playstyle has changed quite a lot now that he has dash. He can now use the dash to count distance, which becomes increasingly useful because the rooms get bigger, the platforms get smaller, etc., etc. Once again, positioning against walls and other environments is important. See, for example, how he uses the big walls on the side of his room to position. However, remembering exactly the draw in a big room like this, especially when you fall into a few acid pits along the way, is not effective. And
예. 오.
forward. He decides to quit out once he gets lost. The quit out is one of his best tools in case he gets in a pickle, because if he messes up a segment, he can simply restart the entire sequence from the beginning. Now, on the very next try, he makes it all the way down, and then goes on to kill Winston moreover with the charm on. Having more notches is going to be really important for his strategies later due to the charms he's going to be using. Now, Cactus is not one to do things the easy way, and that's why he learns the explosion puzzle blindfolded. Now, how's this possible? Well, it's all about setup. For starters, he does 2 neutral dashes to line himself up with a wall, then once he lands, he does 3 full jumps. This lines him up to Pogo right before the score explodes, and due to his positioning, he gets to the left, where he hits Pogo with that again. After slowly but steadily making his way to the mantises in the upper magic village, Cactus is able to pick up the magic box.
There we have it.
Now, despite getting the city crest, Cactus actually is entering the city of Tears through the Blue Lake. This mainly has to do with the path he's running on. He's doing this run on path 121. Most notably, there is a lever skip you can do with Dash Slash, so you can get the stage goal without the elegant. Dash Slash will also help him make his way to Expansion, which is an area that probably wouldn't even be possible if it wasn't for this. Also, it's going to allow him to bite the charm from the way, which is good, and he gets excited by doing a blindfolded stage skip, which I can't really blame him for that. Another unexpected example of something that becomes really difficult when blindfolded is the Salubra charm self-bending, believe it or not. If Cactus isn't careful and doesn't pay attention to what he's doing, he might buy the wrong charm and kill his run, but he actually has a really steady resistance for this. In the shop menu, he works himself from the bottom up, knowing that he hasn't unlocked the notches and doesn't have enough skill for quick focus. This safely lands him on Shaman Stone without running the risk of buying the wrong charm in his run. These small little creative solutions are really the backbone of this run. From here, Cactus lets him fly and sets up the big skip. Just like the other speedrunning skips in this route, there are consistent ways to time and position yourself using dashes, jumps, and